The dream began a long time ago. This is my village. This is my home, Tukombo. From when I was a child, every summer I came to the village of Tukombo. My grandparents lived here, aunts and uncles, and this was where we came to have summer vacation. Everything that I know about living in community, everything that I know about music and dance was nurtured both on these shores of Lake Malawi, but also up in the village in the trees. So it has long been a dream of mine when I got to the United States and began sharing my story with children, with adults, in churches and schools, conferences around the world and around the United States. I would talk about Malawi. I would talk about Tukombo. I would talk about the lake. I would talk about the children. I would talk about the ancestors. And the question I got all of the time, where is this place? What is it like? What are the people like? What do they do? What does the music sound like? And so it became very clear to me that the best way to answer that question was to have people come and see for themselves. You can read about something, you can even watch it on television, people can tell you about it who have been there. But until you have seen it for yourself, it doesn't have the real quality of sand passing through your hands, of water splashing at your feet. There is no description or movie that can capture that. And so 5 years ago, I was at an Interplay conference where people were creating music, creating dance, building community through improvisational dance. And at the end of the conference, I said, the next place that something like this will happen will be in my village of Tukombo. And here we are 5 years later, through talking with Phil Porter and Cynthia Winton Henry, the founders of Interplay, and in asking the community, 42 people said, yes, take us to your village, take us to the water, take us to the source of all your stories. We want to feel the drums, we want to dance, we want to eat the food. And so a dream that was sparked 5 years ago, but indeed a dream that came from my upbringing of bringing people to share my country. Malawi is known as the warm heart of Africa. My parents, Aleke Banda and Mrs. Banda, my brother and my sister, we have always welcomed visitors. And so it is a joy for me to bring visitors all the way from California, all the way from Nashville, all the way from Chicago and Minneapolis, all the way from Pittsburgh, all the way from Washington, D.C. and New York, New South Wales, Sydney, and the continent of Australia, to bring them and say, come and see for yourselves the lake, come and see for yourselves the sand, come and see for yourselves the people. This has been my dream, and I am so glad that what you're going to see unfold before you are going to be the sounds, the pictures, the stories of this incredible, amazing dream. And I feel humble to bring it to you, to have had the opportunity to bring my friends to share in this beauty.
See happy almost to see you this morning.
Thank you.
Because yesterday I went there during night. So everybody didn't know me. And so I'm also very happy to see you morning like this time. So I'm also giving you a free to see my home. To see my place. Where T.S. Rakoma is staying. You can see also my people how we are staying, how we are enjoying Malawi. So I need also you to enjoy Malawi, to enjoy Tukombo. We must be together until you go back. So I'm praying God to be together, to share knowledge together. I'm very happy. So I give you a chance to my Mrs. Chintu to go with you the whole around Tukombo, to see Tukombo. And I'm sure all these people always they welcome you. They also allow you to see everything. We have got some other like goats, we have got dogs, we have got chickens. They all welcome you. I'm sure. Yeah, so I'm very happy. Thank you very much.
Because of time.
The sister of the chief. The sister of the chief. Her name is Fanny. And this is their house. And they're welcoming us to the village, and we're going to take a walking tour around to see the place where Fanny and the village people.
See. It's welcome.
Algebra and the solving an equation. And here they're finding an angle. They're finding this unknown angle. You have this angle, and you find this angle. And actually they're finding the length of the sides. So there's an equation, and when you have the angles, you'll find the length of the sides. And then here, which this is, we don't even do this. They're doing logarithms. Wow. And instead we use calculators to do our logarithms. So they're actually figuring out logarithms manually. I assure you most American kids could not do this.
It's no chairs, no books, no pencils, no paper. They work with the board and their imagination.
This is the house that we grew up in.
Oh, this is the house that you grew up in?
Yes. This is before we moved down to the bottom. We used to live here. So every summer when we would come, this is where we would stay. This was our kitchen over there. And then that was the water bottom. And what I was explaining was before we drilled the water well in the back, we used to take big drums on an ox cart, go down to the river, and using pail teams, we would bring the water, put it in the drum, and then from the drum, put it up there. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. This is the Tukombo Girls Private Secondary School. So it's a secondary school built primarily for girls, because one of the things that has happened pretty much across the world, but here is that girls' education lags. So the people here in consultation thought to build a private school for girls that can come from all over the world, from all over the country, that want a good education. So we're standing right now in front of the activities hall, and then across the street are the dorms, and those are classrooms over there, and more classrooms and libraries.
beneficiaries of the monies that were sent from California and Seattle. And this is one of the CBOs which are looking after the orphans of this area. And 3 pigs have been given to them. And also the Kudo managed to buy them 2 bags of cement, a black plastic sheet for roofing, and money to make doors. And this is in preparation that once they have got piglets, they can be passed on to the other CBOs who are also looking after the orphans of this area. Thank you so much.
I can tell you about the food that I've eaten while I've been here.
I could tell you about arriving in Johannesburg and not being sure if the cab driver was taking me where I wanted to go or someplace else. It seemed like
not having any clothes for several days.
I could tell you about just getting used to what I'm supposed to take when I go to take my shower in the morning.
I could tell a story about watching Phil.
I could tell you about the food that we were served the very first night we went to a long way. I could tell you about all the flights that I was on, one after the other, after the other.
Cramped up.
I could tell you about which are the comfortable seats on the bus.
I can tell you about how to select a good seat.
I could tell you about the particularities of selecting your seat on the bus.
I could tell you about going to a fabric store in the long way. I could tell you about very cute children, such as Grace.
I could tell you a story about that encounter I had in the preschool with a 2-year-old that reminded me of Ben and Sam.
I could tell you about
It could also be a desire to take stuff in. So I'll leave that up to you and your own body wisdom, but we'll just take a little time to move on our own. All right, so take a deep breath. Do that again. Okay, here we go.
saw the pits where the clay is scooped out and made into bricks. I saw a man covered with clay making the bricks for his home. I ate food that a woman grew in her garden and cooked over sticks that she had gathered herself to make a fire. I sat on chairs made of wood that the men had carved for me.
I could tell that the children jumping off the rocks wanted us to join. I could tell, but I couldn't tell if they were boys or girls. With their underwear on and their short hair, I couldn't tell. And I didn't know if it was okay. But it was okay.
Today we went to Tacoma Estates. It's an old farm where they used to grow tobacco, and there are tractors sitting there looking in various states of decrepitude. And as you drive into Tacoma Estates, you see this front of the building with 4 yellow doors and green things hanging down, and it looks like it was beautiful, and you wonder what really happened there when there was productive activity, even though it was growing tobacco. And I met a young man on the road carrying a long 2x4, walking along. Seemed desperate for friendship more than anything else. And I didn't really want him to ask for money, so I told him I'd write him a letter. I took his address. I hope he gets what he needs.
If I had a plastic tub and a swarm of sandflies, I would just know how to catch them. And if I had a plastic tub full of a swarm of sandflies, I would know how to shake them against the sides to kill them. And if I had a tub full of sandflies, I don't think I would squish them into the ball and eat them myself.
We were dancing on the ground together, and all of a sudden I felt an arm come up and wrap itself around my shoulders. There was a little girl who danced with me, and we held hands and put our heads together and laughed.
A man invited me to his house. We talked for a while, discovered we had lots of things in common. We were born the very same year. We got married the very same year. To show his appreciation, he offered me a chicken. I said, no, my country doesn't allow chickens. But we do both have phones. We have pens and paper. And now, we'll keep it together.
I've noticed that people here do a lot of waiting.
sitting and waiting and walking and waiting. When we arrived, they waited for us for hours just to see our faces and dance for us and smile at us when we drove by in our bus. And I get the feeling that they look every day for our bus and just wait so they can wave and smile at us and welcome us. It's a nice feeling that someone will wait for me and be glad to see me when I'm 2 hours late.
Down at the beach, a little girl put her hand in mine, but wouldn't look at my face. She was tattered and shivering and wet, and I felt, oh, she was so forlorn. I put her little shirt on, rubbed her tummy, and she burst into laughter. Bright, bright, bright. Flames on lake, stars in sky, eyes shining so brightly. Shower, 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 yay. Oh, yes. I have been watching the dugout canoes on the lake, sometimes in the morning and evening, and I've noticed this delicate balance of rider on the canoe, this delicate balance, ancient, delicate balance that we will all need now and in the future. Freedom and stillness. Freedom and stillness. Here on the water.
There was a time about maybe 100 years ago when the people along Lake Malawi went to bathe. Their skin shimmered. The mothers grabbed their cloths and wrapped them. The children walked back to the village. The beautiful sunlight shimmering off of their skin. And then the missionaries came and brought the idea of clothing. And today, the clothes are tattered. And there is this rub, this pull, that the children's clothes are tattered. And we wish them to be wearing proper clothing.
Many of the very tiny children, their hands are cold. And I know this because, well, I hadn't started out to do this, but we began to play together and we began to dance with one another's hands. And their hands were very cold, and I wondered, maybe you have to have a lot of protein to have warm hands. I don't know.
I knew when I first met Masankho that I would be here. And I'm seeing these amazing parallels between the global south and the south part of the U.S. Beans with every meal? I'm down with it. Radical hospitality. Sharing everything. The people who have the least seem to give the most. It was like that in my family. It's good to be here with my brother in his village.
Any of the times that I've danced next to any of the people from the village, it hasn't seemed strange to them that there was this big white guy right next to them trying to do their dances. It wasn't even like they noticed whether I was doing it right or wrong, although the one time I did get all those little foot things right, Morgan looked over and said, "Good, that was very good," which I really enjoyed. But they're so self-possessed, so present in their bodies as they're doing these dances in groups.
There's something that I didn't expect. I did expect to come here and see beauty. I did expect to come here and bring home trinkets and items. But I did not expect that I would find a friend who would come into my heart. That's something I'm taking home.
Moni, moni, moni. Moni, moni, moni. I don't know the rest of the song, but it goes moni, 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 which means hello. And when she sang it right into my face, she printed hello right into every cell of moni, moni, moni of my being. And so I have hello, hello, hello. But it came from such
Children have taught me that if I just had this stick, I would have a lot. I would have a pipe that played songs all night long. I would have a boat that would float to a place where my dreams are at night. I would have a hat that helps me balance, to have elegance like royalty.
I want to feed the hungry heart of Africa. Here is my pants. Here is bread. Take my hat. Take my shoes. Take the bread. Take the cookies. And as I feed the hungry heart of Africa, the hungry heart of Africa feeds my hungry heart.
Kudo, 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 Zika-mo, Zika-mo. Our theme song for this trip. Thank you, Kudo, for helping us see the world in a new way, for understanding people who see us as the foreigners. Thank you for opening our eyes and our hearts and seeing the wonderment of Tukumbo.
The women of the kitchen wear bright colored skirts. They wear bright colored hats, and they are cooking on all burners all the time for us. The women of the kitchen sit in the living room at night and eat chocolate and laugh at the top of their lungs. Thank you to the women and men of the kitchen.
I learned long ago that as much as we desire perfection, as much as we desire everything to be just right, we sometimes have to take what is. Berlin is where my brother is. Johannesburg is where my mother is. Lilongwe is where my father is. Lilongwe is where my daughter and grandson and son-in-law. But my sister is here. My aunt is here. The rest of the village is here. And all of you are here. 7:30 this morning, the phone rang. I knew right away it was my dad. And I picked it up and he wished me happy birthday. She is recovering from her surgery. 2:30, my sister handed me the phone. It was my mom wishing me happy birthday. Tonight, at some point in time, I will find my brother's phone number and I will text him to let him know where I am. And I'm sure he'll text me back and wish me happy birthday. It might not all happen in the flesh, but through phones and cell phones, we are connected. But for now, we are here, and I could not have wished for a better birthday.
Little hand in my hand, please hold my hand. Little hand in my hand, let me hold your hand. And hand in hand we walk, and hand in hand we talk. Little hand in my hand, please let me talk.
I saw a painting on a door yesterday. I am too defended to be a victim. And someone told me that was by John Howard. I feel blessed to have met a John Howard that actually cares. He braided my hair. He's painted me pictures. He's shared joy with so many other people. John Howard of Australia, Prime Minister of Australia, John Howard is too defended to say sorry.
From Africa to America, back to Africa. That is my experience. I do not know when or how somebody in my family left, but I know now that I've returned home with all these ancestors. And I am because we are Africa to America to Africa.